I'm WSA 9 Weather Watch meteorologist Topper Shutt. We are still tracking the tropics. Now, Nicole, as of Wednesday afternoon, still a high-end tropical storm. Hurricane Center thinks it might become a hurricane for about a quick minute as it makes landfall around Port St. Lucie. That hasn't changed. Then it goes west to Tampa, and then it dies out in terms of a tropical system in upstate South Carolina. The surface low itself will pass to our west, and that will give us the rain. And it's pretty gusty winds, too, on Friday. But in the meantime, if it were to hit, it would be a low-end Category 1 storm, and it may end up being a high-end tropical storm. Rainfall amounts, kind of scaling back with the American model. 1 inch downtown, maybe 2 to 3 north and west. A little more aggressive with the Euro. Some of the higher-end amounts are a little closer, all the way into northern sections of Fauquier County and also into Loudoun County. In the metro itself, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So the models are pretty close. They're closer than they've been. One thing we said on Tuesday, and we're saying it again today, Wednesday, the timing is a little quicker, so prepare for some rain and showers Friday morning. Nothing crazy heavy, but just a wet commute and wet at the bus stop. By the time we get to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, some heavy rains possible across the bay, and we still have rain and showers. And by 12:30 in the morning, late Friday night into Saturday, yeah, still some heavy rain as well. But look at this, by 9:30 in the morning on Saturday, it's gone, and I mean gone. So it gets in here earlier, but it gets out of here earlier as well. So we'll salvage a pretty decent Saturday. Okay, let's talk about how much rainfall, per town, GFS. By the time we get to 6:30 on Friday, nothing measurable, but then by 6 p.m., and again, this is scaled down a little bit, around 1/2 inch, okay, across the metro. Higher amounts out toward Culpeper and Orange, almost 1 inch. By 6 a.m. on Saturday, we're now 1 inch in Hagerstown, 1 inch in Cumberland, and now the GFS has pulled the bullseye across the divide into Garrett County, almost 2 inches there by 6 a.m. on Saturday. And after that, we don't really add much to it, at least in the metro. We add just a little bit on the Delmarva because it's pulling away very, very quickly. Okay, so this is the European model. By 6 a.m. on Saturday, it has 1 inch pretty much across the board. A little more uniform, even down to La Plata, over toward Culpeper, and pretty uniform amounts out to the west, not going super crazy out there in terms of 4 inches or 3 inches. Maybe we'll see a 2 to 3 inch localized amount either side of I-81. So you can do some things. You have one more day to do this. Clear your gutters, downspouts, storm drains, get the leaves out of the storm drains. Check your sump pump. And if you're driving on Friday, make sure you have at least a half tank of gas or more in case you have to change your route. Okay, so what's interesting, if Nicole makes landfall with winds over 65 miles per hour, which it is forecast to do. Winds are now 70 miles per hour. It would be the 4th strongest tropical storm to make landfall in November in the U.S. on history. Number 1 is Kate back in 1985. It was a Cat 2. Unnamed storm back in 35, Cat 2 as well. Another unnamed storm way back in 1861. We had winds of 80. And the most recent was Ada back in November 2020, winds of 65. So it looks like it's going to happen. Nicole's going to make landfall either as a high-end tropical storm with winds 70 miles per hour or higher, or possibly a low-end hurricane. Either way, it would be the 4th strongest November tropical system to make landfall in the U.S.